Wednesday. Here's 3 success tips for you. If you want to be successful in any field, whether it's your regular job, it's a residual income job, whatever, you need, remember these 3 things: read, listen, attend. Read, listen, attend. If you're not doing those 3 things, either wake up and start doing it or move on to something else. Why? Because you're going to be wasting your time, and time that you will never get back. What does that mean? Read. Make sure that you're reading at least 60 minutes a day. 60 minutes a day. If you need to start with 30, fine. Figure out a way to get an hour in if you need to break it up. 60 minutes a day on the development of that field. So, for instance, as a pediatric dentist, then I really should be reading 60 minutes a day in the development of pediatric dentistry or whatever my niche is. In terms of advancements, whether I'm reading magazines, articles, building relationships, whatever, that's what I want to be reading about. The second thing is listen. You want to make sure that you're listening to at least 30 minutes of audio a day. Turn your car into a mobile classroom. If you walk, if you drive, get an iPod and put it in your ears. So when I get off here, I'm going to be putting in, this is what I got: Tony Robbins, Power Talk, okay? Lead by example. I've always got something in there. If I'm not looking at that, I'm listening to Dr. Radio. If I'm not listening to that, I'm listening to business radio. All those have reasons according to my development. And when I'm listening to music, that's therapeutic, but I balance it out. So I'm not just doing it to do it. It all has a purpose. The third thing is attend. There's continuing education that's required. It's like 30 credit hours every 2 years for pediatric dentistry, and then as a board certified pediatric dentist, I'm required to attend a little bit more and different types. Certain amount needs to be live because there is no substitute for a live events, because you experience it. I'll use Tony Robbins for an example. I went to my first Tony Robbins seminar when I was 8 years old. My parents took me, and it was amazing how even at 8 years old I was able to absorb so much of what he was talking about in the seminar in New York City, and I ended up walking on coals during his, I think it was Personal Power. I ended up walking on hot coals. I was like one of the youngest people, and that's like, how does that happen? Because you immerse yourself. You need to immerse yourself in whatever it is that you're passionate about. So if you're treating something, we always say like, oh, treat it as a hobby. Hobbies are BS. If you like to do it, then do it, but don't put the time into something like a full-time passion if really it's only a hobby. So if you're putting the time in, then you might as well put the right time in. The fact that it might be hard for you, that you got to change things up, so what? I mean, you have to say to yourself, why are you doing it? So it's the same thing, that if you're not learning every day, if you're not continually learning every day, for instance, as a pediatric dentist, then I'm going to be antiquated by next year, by 5 years, by 10 years. So if same thing with myself as a high performance coach, where my focus is on emotional intelligence. So I am constantly reading. Right now I'm reading the top articles that the Harvard Business Review reviewed on emotional intelligence and how it relates to leadership. Who told me to go and find that? Nobody. It's that is my education. That's my continuing education, where I'm continually learning how to develop relationships with people and why we do the things we do and how we can maintain strength. So those are my 3 things that you must do if you want to be successful in anything. And there's no excuses beyond that. If you're busy, we always say we're busy. That means you're just doing things that are not bringing you closer towards your goal and that making you a better person, period. I said, well, but I've got this going on. Well, no, that's because you haven't had anything else to fill it. Now that you have something that is more fulfilling, it is up to you to make a decision to step out of that comfort zone and find a way to read, listen, attend. Read, listen, attend. We come up with excuses with why, for instance, we may not be able to attend a quarterly event or a corporate seminar or whatever. Come up with as many excuses as you want. You know what? If you make it a non-negotiable, it's a non-negotiable. The whole family could be sick. And you know what? Someone's going to watch them because it's non-negotiable for you to attend that corporate event. And because why? Because by attending that corporate event, you're going to be able to learn and be able to give more back to your family. We need to be forward thinking with why we do things. So it's not about taking 60 minutes away from your family so that you can read. That's not selfish. It's actually selfless because you're becoming a better person. I hope that helped, guys. Have a great day.